please go ahead.
The traditional methods of irrigation: moat, chain pump, dakeli, and rahat.
Okay, can you explain what are they?
On the methods of irrigation.
Yeah, so anyone that you know?
No.
Okay, who will be able to help? Who will be able to explain this? Hmm?
Ma'am, may I try?
Okay, try.
Ma'am, I actually don't know, but I can try moat.
Okay, try.
Moat can be the farmers draw water from the well and water their fields.
Yeah, that's precisely correct. Actually, that is what happens. For example, there's a well, well very nearby, very close by. So this is one of the oldest way of irrigation whereby actually the farmer, carries or pulls water, draws water from the well and manually he pours it in the field. So do you think this is a very smart way to irrigate?
I'm not actually, because it will take a lot of time.
Yeah, it is a cumbersome thing. Lot of hard work is required and it takes a lot of time. Right, so this is not a very intelligent thing to do basically. If one farmer has a very small field, then it's still possible if the area is small. But then again, if the area is really big and huge, it's impossible. Then we come to the chain pump. What is a chain pump? Hmm? So chain pump is also a technique whereby, this is still used in actually a few places whereby, there's a long chain that's there and, it takes out or it draws the water and, this is also not a very smart way to use, but then again, this is also takes time with just, they have a picture filled out here and as in when the chain, the wheel turns, there are certain discs attached. So this pitcher will kind of pull water from here and then throw it up in this tube and from this tube it will flow in the land. Right? So if you see efficiency wise, this is not very efficient. Neither is this. This is a lot of manual labor. A person actually has to do this. Maybe 1, 2, 3 people actually continuously they have to do this. Right? And what is Rahat? What is Rahat?
May I?
Yes.
Ma'am, Rahat is a method in which the bull is tied to a rope and to a how can I say?
Yeah,
And
to a rope and to this is a circular motion going on. And as and when, there's kind of a mechanical energy which gets converted and then this draws water and sends it to the field.
Ma'am, it's a combination of chain pump and
Moat. Correct. Yes. Kind of. Here also, entire day this cow, bull, whatever, will be involved in just going round and round and round. Right? So, I mean, the speed is the same. It over a period of time, at the same speed, the watering or the irrigation will happen. And what is Dhekli? Dhekli is basically, a person drawing water from the well and manually going in front of the crops and, pouring water in front of the crops. That's like Dhekli.
Ma'am, so what's the difference between moat and dakely?
So in moat, if you see in a moat, there's a huge, he's just pouring water here in this area. There's a huge area. So from here, there's a proper drainage system which would go to the field, to the crops. But in Dhekli, he's actually doing it directly to the plants. Understood? That's the difference. Okay.
And for efficiency, technology is the best.
Technology is best. These are all very primitive ways. These are all, done, used to be done in the rural primitively, but not anymore. So what are the modern ways of irrigation? Drip irrigation, right? So Kavya, can you tell me what is drip irrigation?
It's when I'm not sure of what's used, but it's like it's a small machine kind of thing, which like it keeps dripping water. I think it's a pipe. It keeps dripping water into the plants, the soil around the plant. Like in the picture, it's a long pipe. It keeps dripping. So we don't have to go and put water. It keeps dripping because these plants don't need too much of water to grow.
Correct. So basically what happens is that, if you have noticed in this, every line, every row of plant has got this black tube kind of a thing, right? All of them have a black tube. And strategically, wherever a plant is being planted, wherever there's a crop that has been planted, strategically, there is it's been punctured, as in, there's a hole that has been done. And there's this one point, where there could be a pump or there could be a tap, right? So there's a main pipe which is attached to these pipes. And then from here, the pipe is being divided to all these rows, right? So you just need to open the tap and then, so these are the kind of crops maybe, which require a watering for maybe 2 to 3 hours. Little by little, it will keep on dripping water and it will keep the soil moist. Because, every kind of irrigation is not meant for every kind of crop. Different crops, as I said, we have different water requirements. Maybe this crop requires a moist soil throughout the day. So if a person just comes and irrigates it once a day or twice a day, it would be too much of water at a time. So it requires slow little supply of water throughout the day just to keep its environment cool and hydrated. Strawberry, etc. These are very, examples where drip irrigation works really well, right? Fruit plants, garden and trees, so they rely a lot on drip irrigation. So once you see, and it's in your control. So once you know that the soil is moist enough, you go and check and then you switch off the tap. You just close the tap. Okay. Next is this. Yes, Ronak.
Ma'am, can drip irrigation be used in paddy?
Paddy, no, I don't think so. No. Paddy
Okay.
requires a lot of water and it requires standing water.
Yes.
Paddy requires a lot of water. Out of all the crops, paddy is the one which requires a lot of water. Yeah.
Okay.
So what is sprinkler system? Naisha again. Okay, Ronak, tell me.
And sprinkler system is a modern method of irrigation in which there are sprinklers at means a sufficient distance, and if the motor is on, then the sprinklers rotate, the nozzle of the sprinklers rotate, and water is thrown at a specific distance.
Okay. First and foremost, as you said, here too, either there is a pump, right? Or there is like a main tap, right? Mainly there would be a pump only because, there is high pressure that is required. Because for the sprinkler to work, a normal tap will not be able to do the work. You require a pump to induce that pressure. A very high pressure is required. Only then, it would reach the tip of the sprinkler and then it would kind of guzzle through it, right? It would gush through it. Now, as it is gushing, it's called a nozzle. What is the meaning of a nozzle? Nozzle means the tip of the pipe. Tip of any pipe is, kind of a nozzle, which will keep on rotating. So that's the reason why the direction of watering will also change. It will be in a circular motion, right? First the water will go to this direction, then as it circulates here, then here. So it gives a 360-degree watering of this radius, right? Now The thing is that where is it done and why is it done? It is done in places where there is no sufficient water, where the water is not sufficient. So I can take into consideration that this would be in hilly areas and mountainous areas, right? I could also say desert, but in desert there's hardly any irrigation. There's hardly, much cultivation, right? And also uneven land. So uneven land and insufficient water means would be hills and mountains, right? Because you can't have a normal irrigation here. Because if this is a high area, how will water flow here? It's not an even straight land. Only in an even straight land you can do one of those irrigations. Here you will have to employ sprinklers. So if you have gone to, Uti or Kunnur or any of those hilly areas where you will find a lot of tea plantations happening, right? So in tea plantations, sprinklers are used majorly. First and foremost, tea is grown in hilly areas. Tea plants also require a bit of water, if not twice a day, but at least once a day, and good amount of water, because these are like really old trees, which has been repeatedly cut over and over again, right? So that's the sprinkler method.